get what you are saying. So let's minimize the noise and come quickly. That noise is not church. bring together. Oh, sorry. It's not. Different views of people, which you get from books, from articles, from gossips outside, and you interpret those views in your own way. It is about a relationship between you as the writer and the audience, which may be your teacher or anybody else. So since we are in an education institution, it is a relationship between ourselves and our teacher. Now there are two things that we have to be aware of when we are writing our academic paper. What is it that you know about that topic? And what is it that other people have said about the same topic? What you may know about the topic perhaps is what you would have discussed in class. But what your lecturer will want you to do is to read a little bit about that same topic about what other people have written. For example, in secondary school and in my first year in university, I learned about the great migration of the Ngoni from KwaZulu-Natal all the way to where? I'm sure it's made Ngoni. They migrated from Natal to where? Nobody comes from Shehu here. Anybody from Zima? There are people there who claim, call themselves Ngoni. Where did they come from? Or you are just from Zimba, you are not Ngoni? So where did you come from?
I have already mentioned.
Huh?
I have already mentioned KwaZulu.
Okay, so these guys migrated all the way from down south there, through here, all the way to Tanzania, to a place called Maputo, and then they turned back turned back, that's when they settled in these various places. The Wangenda Wangoni settled in Zimba, the Masai Wangoni moved to the other side of the lake and eventually found themselves in Cheu, one in those areas. The others, you find them in Bumbwe and places like that. Now there is so that is what I know, right, about migration of the Ngoni, that they were running away from who? Why did they move all the way from South Africa? They must have been very, very scared of somebody. They were running away from a guy called Shaka Zulu. Now, that is what I know. But then I need, when I'm writing, right, I will not just write about what I know. I will have to read what other people have said about the same migration. So, I start by looking at books of people who have written on the same migration. Professor Monica Wilson, what does she say about this migration? Monica Wilson was a professor of anthropology at the University of Cape Town, and she did a bit of study on these movements, migrations. And in her findings, she was claiming that, well, these migrations were as a result of droughts. There were droughts in these areas. And when there is drought, and when there are people who are pastoralists, they obviously will fight for land. And they start moving in search of pastures. The dominant people, they will push the others, and so on. But Monica Wilson is just what? So I need to look at others. Then perhaps I would read Roland Oliver. What does Roland Oliver write in his book called Vegani? Right? He concurs with the Monica Wilson, but he goes further by proving that indeed there was drought during the periods of these movements, by looking at the period that people claim that the movement started in Natal, and then the other movements, similar movements in other areas. So there is stories about the drought, but he goes further by looking at evidence that there was drought. Where does he find this evidence? He finds this evidence by studying baobab trees. A baobab tree, when there is plenty of rain, right? It will grow quite generously. But when the rains are scarce, it will grow, but not generously. Now, each time it is growing, right, it forms a ring. The next season, there is going to be another ring, and so on. So by studying the width of these rings, you can tell that this period there was a drought. This period there was no drought, and so on. So you correlate the rings with the oral traditions that people who you are interviewing, the old ones, are saying, and so on. So that is rural knowledge. Then I can go on and look at quite a number of people who have studied that, and then come up with a paper. I hope we are together, right? So it is what you know, and then you read others, and then you put together evidence. Then people will say, okay, yeah, this guy, he or she has knows what they're talking about. The length of our academic paper, it will depend on what will be taught by our lecturers. Most lecturers, like myself, I will say, you write something for me, 3 to 5 pages. Beyond that, I know that you're just going to be going round and round. Right? But yeah, that's my want you to write more. When you will be in 4th year, you will be writing your research paper. Obviously, for that one, we want you to write a little bit more. So, we'll give you something like 3,000 to 5,000 words, which should translate to 20, 15 pages, something like that. When you are writing a master's thesis, then they will give you more words, right? A PhD, well, it is also going to be more lengthy paper. Also, in terms of reading other works, people will guide you. For most assignments, reading 3 to 5 other people is helpful. You can make an argument. For your research paper, we insist that you read at least a minimum 10 papers or 10 books or a combination. For a master's, usually we recommend that you read at least a minimum of 50 papers. And if it is a PhD, a minimum of 200. Yeah, because the PhD thesis is a big anyway, right? So you have to read that. Means they have they can find something, yeah. How many pages? 167 pages. So you can see that it is really some bit of work. You write 167 pages, so you need to do quite a bit. Okay, so how do you go about writing an academic paper? There are 3 stages involved. Stage 1 is called the pre-writing. Stage 2 is writing, and stage 3 is revising. Pre-writing means that you have to read first before you can write. Other people start writing immediately. Now, when you start writing immediately, you run out of ideas. So, you have to do a bit of pre-writing. Now, pre-writing involves reading and then taking notes. So, our next lesson will be what is involved in pre-writing. Taking notes. And then, the writing itself. Revising means once you have written something, don't think that it is over. That 167 pages that I will show you was revised 12 times. I wrote the first draft. I looked at it. This one. I don't think it is making sense to myself. And how can it make sense to the supervisor and the reviewers? So, the second draft, third draft, by the fifth draft, I submitted it to my supervisor who read and made some comments. And then, based on that, I had to make several other drafts until I was satisfied to submit the final for marking and so on. So it is a process. But as you can see, these are the processes. They are not cast in concrete. Okay, now you are in the pre-writing stage. Because as I've said, once I wrote, I had to go back, right, to read some other books and so on and so forth, and then we incorporate those ideas, and then write, and then revise, and so on and so forth. So this happens simultaneously. Well, most people start with pre-writing. The 3 stages of writing processes overlap. In other words, writing is not the kind of process where you finish one step before moving on to the next. It's a back and forth. Why? Because your job is to make your ideas as clear as possible to yourself. Because if you write something and it is clear to yourself, then it will be clear to the other person who is reading. If you yourself is puzzled, then how do you expect that one who is reading to understand it? So this is the process. Now, in pre-writing, the first thing that you need to do is to think about the topic. Especially when you are asked to write on something, you are not given a topic. Then you have to think about the topic. When you are thinking about the topic, there are several things that you have to bear in mind. One, write on a topic that is interesting to you. Because when you are writing on something which is interesting to you, then you are going to do justice. In most cases, when you will be writing your research papers, you will be asked to come up with a research topic. So you see, this is what it's called. Comrade, when you become in next time, make sure you come together. Because you see, in this class, it's not only you who is listening, other colleagues are also listening elsewhere. So when you come and then you scrape here, they are complaining that there is noise in the background. Right? So since you people and ourselves, we are all observers of human rights. Those people also have got the right to education. Don't you think? So make sure that you are coming quickly. But should you in the unlikely event come a bit late, you come quietly. Like the way a cat does. When a cat comes into the house, you hear it making noise. Wow. So, you have to ensure that it is interesting. Because if you are writing something which is not interesting, then you have a choice. Also, make sure that your topic is not too hard and that there are enough materials on that topic. Because sometimes we choose a topic and there isn't anything on the topic. You see, this is not academic paper writing is not a philosophy class. I will tell you what happened in one philosophy class where Lazarus Shavera was a student. Lazarus was a year ahead of me in gender politics. So him and a few other characters were taking philosophy. And there was a character whose name we knew his real name later, much later on, but we used to know him as Loco Genius. the local genius, Lazarus and others, taking philosophy. And it was being taught by Professor Goldman Hines, who also happened to have been Vice Chancellor of the University of Ireland. So he gave them end of term, those days, the beginning of semester, end of term test. So the local genius looked at the paper. After some time, got no answer and walked out. So news spread that the local genius was going to fail. Of course, eventually failed, but it was for other reasons. Not the reason of that test. Others stayed there for 3 hours writing and writing. At the end of the day, results were out in the class. To be shocked for everybody else, Professor Harding said, local genius was correct. This is what answer to this question. But anyway, that is philosophy, right? But in the real life, right? There are other people who have written on that topic also. So you need to make sure that there is enough material on that particular topic. Also, when you have got a topic, academic life is not about competition. It's about sharing ideas. So talk to as many people as possible, including your lecturer if you don't understand. You get a lot of ideas from the others. Also, you can find ideas from newspapers, magazines, television, the website. If you are stuck, you go to the indexes of your textbook, you will find links to where you can read within the textbook on a particular topic, and so on. Once you have chosen a topic, narrow it down to something that is manageable. For example, you may choose a topic on education. Education is very wide, right? But you find that from the wide topic of education, you can narrow it down to a specific topic. Primary education. Even in primary education, it's very wide. You can narrow it down to something, drop out in primary education. Absenteeism in primary education, and so on. Now, how do you do that? How do you narrow things down? Well, you do that by asking questions on your topics, or you jot things on your topic, or you brainstorm. Let us take an example of studies about the deaf in America. You can narrow your topic on the deaf by asking some questions. What do I know about deaf studies? What does deaf studies include? Why is deaf studies important to deaf scholars and students? How does deaf studies impact the deaf community? How does deaf studies impact communication between the deaf and hearing? So, by asking these kinds of questions, you can choose one question which appeals to you, and then you develop your topic from there. Or you can have a jot list of issues about the deaf. Culture. Deafness and culture. How are people who are deaf treated in culture, in our society? Educational issues about the deaf people. There was a conference in Milan on the deaf. What did people say at that conference? Or there was another conference in America at a place called Martha's Vineyard. Have you ever heard of Martha's Vineyard? Maybe the only vineyard that you have heard is the vineyard in Israel during the time of Jesus. There is a vineyard in America called Martha's Vineyard. What is there? Why is it so famous? Have you ever heard of Chikoko Bay? Chikoko Bay in Mangoti. Chikoko Bay in Mangoti, that is where the presidential retreat is. When President Glass wants to cool off, he goes to Chikoko Bay and relaxes. In America, when the president wants to cool off, he goes to Martha's Vineyard. That is where the president house is. So just like Chikoko Bay in Mangoti and around Mangoti there are lots of other facilities where people go for conferences and so forth. The same with Martha's Vineyard. There are places where people may go and have some conferences. And at one of these times, there was a big conference in America at Martha's Vineyard where they made some resolutions about how to deal with these issues in America. ASL, Association of Sign Language. That is something that also concerns the deaf and so on. So you can jot these things, right? And from what you have jotted, you can expand. The other is to brainstorm. So the same issues, you can brainstorm. Important historical facts about the deaf, culture, association, National Theatre for the Deaf, and so on. The Milan Conference, what happened there, and so on. So you can write something using this. Remind me. This topic is a big text. I should give you an assignment. You take the assignment for this one. Don't you think so? So that you should explore. But this one, I should give you. Right. So that you can find a number of things and so on. When you are reading, you discover a lot of things. As I said, I might decide to give you something for you to have a shot on this study on the deaf. Obviously, what you do is read some books. On this one, read some articles. If you find some people that you can interview, you can interview. But in most cases, these days, there is a lot of information on the website. So one of the things that you need to do is to be familiar with the how to get information on the website. That is very, very important. Because on the web, you can get almost anything that you want. If you want to be a witch today, you can Google and then you start learning. Like, I remember one time, a very good friend of mine, now he's gone back to his home country because he's old. He was an anthropologist staying at Moore. So one time I was visiting him, he was in the plaster of Paris. What is plaster of Paris? No one knows plaster of Paris? When you go to a hospital, when you're broken your bones, what do? They cast you in plaster of Paris. That's the plaster. We call it plaster of Paris, right? So this friend of mine was in plaster of Paris. So I was asking him, what happened? So the white man, he wasn't very integrated, right? We were flying at night. We were passing by the house, and there was an accident. Me and the few other guys fell. That's what I broke. So the elders were not very happy. Who were the city wives? So I collapsed laughing. The city guy, he wanted him to learn what he was doing. So, as you gather information or ideas that you need to make sure that you take notes and write down where and who you got that information from. So, when you are reading, make sure that you take down notes. Because if you don't take down notes, you are going to forget. You're going to forget one, what you read. Two, you're going to forget who said what you read. Three, you're going to forget the book or the article and so on. So it's very important that you should be taking down notes. There will be a session or two where we'll be devoting ourselves to how we take down notes. It's very, very important. Now, if you don't take down notes, and then you pretend that what you are saying is yours, that is called plagiarism. And plagiarism is very, very serious in the university. In any university, it's very serious. If you plagiarize, you can be punished by getting a fail, or you can be expelled altogether from the university. In the serious crime, last week, the president of Stanford University in the United States of America had to resign